Hey everyone, it's Tim from Linessa Farms Specialty and Heirloom Livestock. Thanks for joining us again today. So we've been getting lots of questions about how to figure out the amount of protein that is in your feed. Perhaps you're making your feed from scratch. Perhaps you're using some of Foundation Feed's pre-mixes. Maybe you have a mix that you like, but you want to add a little bit more protein to it by adding some things such as rolled roasted soybeans. So what I wanted to do today was just give you an idea of how you're going to do that on paper. It's pretty simple once you get the hang of it. So why don't you come on around here and I will show you 3 examples of actually how we do this. All right, so I just got out my notebook here and I wanted to give you 3 different examples of how you can figure this out. So our first example, this is how I want you to set it up. I want you to set it up by product, the protein percentage in that product, and the pounds that you're going to use. Now it's very important that you use an even measurement of weight for these products. It can be pounds, it can be kilograms, it can be grams, it can be whatever you want, but you need to make sure that all of them use the same form of measurement. So in this case, what we have is we have whole corn and we have sweet feed. We're going to keep it pretty simple. Now when you go to find out what your protein percentage is for your feeds, you're going to want to look on the label. If you can't see it on the label, you're just going to want to look it up online. We know that whole corn is about 7% protein. So I have whole corn 7 and I have 6 pounds that I want to use in my mix. I'm going to use sweet feed, which is 12%, and I'm going to use 4 pounds in my mix. And now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 7 times 6, which is going to give me 42. I'm going to take 12 times 4, which is going to give me 48. I'm going to add up both of these columns. So I'm adding up my total number of pounds and my total units of protein. I divide my total units of protein by my total pounds, or whatever unit of measurement you use, and that gives me my protein percentage. So what does this tell me? This tells me if I mix 6 pounds of whole corn with 4 pounds of 12% sweet feed, I am going to end up with an end protein percentage of 9%. So let's look at something a little bit more complicated. Same exact setup as before, but in this case we're going to use whole corn, we're going to use oats, we're going to use roasted soybean, and then we're going to use dry powder. So this could be something like limestone, ammonium chloride, or any kind of non-protein powder that you're going to add to your mix. You still have to count that in the total weight. So this is where it gets a little bit more complicated, but the setup is exactly the same. I have my product, I have the protein percentage in that product, and then the number of pounds that I put in the mix. So 7 times 5, 35. Oats, I have 12% times 9. 12 times 9 is 108. Rolled roasted soybeans, these are 40%. 40 times 1 is 40. And then dry powders, those are 0% protein, but I still have 1 pound. 0 times 1 gives me 0. Add up my columns. Total number of units is 183. Total pounds is 16. 183 divided by 16 gives me 11.4. So that means in this total mixture, I'm going to end up with an end product of 11.4% protein. Now let's say you have a 12% sweet feed that you really like and you just want to up the total protein a little bit. So in this case, we're using 12% protein, 12% sweet feed with some of our 40% Foundation Feed Ultra Goat mix. And you can find this on linessafarms.com. I'm gonna write that down for you right here. We're gonna say LINESSAFARMS.com. LinessaFarms.com, you can find all of your feed ingredients that you need, to include ammonium chloride, decox, Bovatec, rumensin, and all kinds of other feed additives right here at our website. So again, same thing. 12% protein, obviously, and 12% sweet feed. We're going to use 8 pounds of that. 12 times 8 equals 96. Foundation Feed Ultra Goat, 40% protein times 2 pounds gives us 80. Add these together for our total units of 176. Add these together for our total units of 10. We take 176 divided by 10, and that's going to give us 17.6% protein. So we took a 12% sweet feed and we increased it to a nice show stock protein level of 17.6% just by adding 2 pounds of the foundation feed Ultra Goat. If you use this code Great Deal today at Linessa Farms, we're going to give you an additional 10% off your first order. Hopefully this helped to answer some of the questions that you had, and you see that figuring up the total protein percentage in your feed is not very hard at all. I'm Tim from Linessa Farms Specialty and Heirloom Livestock. Thanks for joining me again today, and I look forward to seeing all of you again next time.